The Holy Gospel according to St. John, the 12th chapter.
Glory to you, O Lord.
6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, the home of Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. There they gave a dinner for him. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those at the table with him. Mary took a pound of costly perfume made of pure nard, anointed Jesus' feet, and wiped them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples, the one who was about to betray him, said, "Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii and the money given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. He kept the common purse and used to steal what was put into it. Jesus said, "Leave her alone. She bought it so that she might keep it for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." The Gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
You may be seated. I invite the children to come forward. Okay, so I know that you two know what's going to happen next week. This is the 5th Sunday in Lent. So do you know what next week is? Palm Sunday. Yeah, which is happens to be Palm Sunday, huh? And so Palm Sunday starts all of Holy Week and all those big events that we were talking about during announcements. Did you catch all the things we're going to do for Holy Week? Nope. Well, that's okay. We do have Palm Sunday. You remember what we do on Palm Sunday?
We make palms around.
Yeah, we have the palms because why? Jesus did what?
He got it.
Where was he riding into? Do you remember? What city? It starts with a J. Yeah, he rides into Jerusalem like a king, and they wave in their palms, and they're putting something on the ground too. Palms and robes and coats and everything. They're putting them right on the ground, aren't they? And then what else they do?
They make the palms up.
And they shout Hosanna. Yeah, and so we'll do all that next week. And then the rest of the week doesn't go too well for him as king, does it? He doesn't really become king. What happens on Thursday, do you know? Yeah, one of his disciples betrays him. And he betrays him with a kiss, huh? And then after Judas betrays him, they arrest him, and you know what his punishment is, right? The next day, he dies on the cross. And then we come back for Easter Sunday because he doesn't stay there.
And then 3 days later.
But it's almost that time, so I thought we should check on something over here though before, because during Lent, there's some things that we don't do, right? Oh, are they doing okay? Yeah. Okay. For those of you who weren't here, the last Sunday at Transfiguration Sunday, we had little owls, short for a word that we don't say during Lent, but they're still doing okay over here, so they'll have to come out for Easter Sunday, won't they? All right. I'm glad we got to check on them today. And don't miss any of the exciting events on Holy Week. Okay? Go ahead and go back with that. Now, just give me a moment because somebody's going to come and visit you today. In fact, you probably just want to leave the camera up there, so if I stand up, after I said it would be all in the center, I realized. So, every once in a while, for those of you who haven't been here when I've done this, somebody from the Bible comes and visits with you. And today, Mary from Bethany, not to be confused with the many other Marys of the Bible. Mary is a very popular name in Jesus' time, though. His own mother's Mary, there's Mary Magdalene, There's Mary, the mother of Salome. There's Mary of Bethany, sister of Martha. This is the one we're talking about today. We're talking to us today. I think I should have just left the stove on. Would have been simpler. It's worked this morning, honestly. Do you smell that? It still lingers. It's been 5 days since Jesus was here in my home, and I anointed his feet with this costly perfume. And every time I smell, I can smell it still lingering in the air. And it reminds me of so many things, but it reminds me most of all why I did it in the first place. So right now I'm kind of busy. I'm preparing for the Passover meal tomorrow. And so you'd think you'd have other smells while I'm preparing the food, but it seems to be overpowering this year, this costly perfume. You know, it's perfume that's used to anoint the dead because it is so fragrant. And if you can smell it, you can just smell how sweet and soothing it is, which of course is a good thing when you're experiencing death. It takes some of that sting away. Of course, Jesus said I should keep it for his own burial, but I don't know when that'll be. And I really didn't buy it for Jesus at all. Unfortunately, I had to buy it for my brother. Maybe you don't know who I am. Maybe you don't know the story of my brother. But I'm Mary. My sister and I and my brother lived together in Bethany. My sister, I often get confused with my sister Martha. You might know her a little bit better. She's always the one who's the great hostess. When people come over, everybody notices Martha because she's so busy doing everything. She's the one who prepares the extravagant meals that we have when Jesus is around or any other guests are around. And to be quite honest, she's also the one who prepares most of the other meals too. She's better at it than I am. And she also cleans everything. I mean, I try to clean ahead of time, but I don't do it nearly as well as she does. So she's still redoing it when I'm done. It's not quite good enough to her standards. And she's always so busy moving around and doing something. And I can't figure out what it is that she's up to all the time. But it's important to her. It's her way of showing her love to whoever's here. And it was her way of showing her love to Jesus long before when he and the disciples would come to visit. And it's still her way of showing love. Oh, the smell. Maybe it's just in my hair. Maybe that's why you can't smell it. You know, I anointed it with my hair, but no, it's not just my hair. It's all over the place. I hope you can smell it because it certainly is a beautiful smell. But it reminds me of why I purchased it. I purchased it because my brother had died. I don't know if you heard this story or not, but Lazarus was quite sick. He had been sick for a while and he got worse and worse. And I finally sent for Jesus because Martha and I knew that if Jesus came, he would be able to heal him. And so we were looking forward to Jesus' arrival and we waited for days. I don't know why Jesus didn't come sooner. I thought I sent for him early enough. Maybe he didn't get the message right away. You know, the messenger has to find him. Maybe he wasn't where we expected him to be. Maybe he had something else really urgent and some other healing that needed to take place. But for whatever reason, he didn't come and he didn't come. And then Lazarus died. And it was just my sister and I, not sure what our future held. And so we were in mourning when all of a sudden we heard that Jesus was on his way, and Martha rushed out the door and she ran to meet Jesus on his way up to see us, to visit our family. And she spent some time with him. I don't know what Jesus said to her, but my sister, who was in tears, who was unconsolable before she saw Jesus, came back. She was standing upright again. She had that twinkle in her eye of hope once more, and she just trusted that everything was going to be okay. I guess Jesus was just able to assure her that there was hope after all, even without Lazarus. All I know is that when she came back, she told me Jesus wanted to talk to me as well. So I, of course, rushed down and talked to Jesus. And I watched my dear friend, this wonderful teacher, this bold man, weep in front of me. It was chilling. But then he said something completely unexpected. He wanted to go and see Lazarus. He wanted to go right to the tomb. And I don't mean he wanted to just go out and stand kind of in front of the tomb and be close to it. He wanted us to roll away the stone. And I remember Martha saying, Jesus, we can't do that. It's going to smell already. It's been days, 4 days. But you know what? Something amazing happened. Well, it did smell at first, don't get me wrong. That smell didn't last very long though. I mean, we opened it up, we could tell that there was, death was really there. You know the smell of death. I hope you don't know it, but I bet most of you kind of know that smell. But it was a little too powerful. That was an overwhelming smell as well. But only for a few moments, because almost as soon as the stone was rolled away, almost as soon as the tomb was open, Jesus called out to my brother to come. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Lazarus came out. And that's why I had to get out that perfume and thank Jesus. I had to show him how much I loved him, how much our family loved him, how much he meant to us. And I didn't need it any longer. My brother was alive. My sister was well. What did I need to hold on to this perfume for after all? And so I wanted him to have it. I wanted him to experience it. I wanted him to know what an amazing, amazing gift of grace he had given our family. Maybe Judas was right. Maybe I should have sold it and given the money to the poor. There's certainly enough people who need extra help, who need the extra amount of food that they're just not getting. But it just seemed like the very right thing to do, to show my love in an extravagant way, to make sure that Jesus and the other disciples could see and witness and smell my love and the gift that it was. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I do know that it's Passover, and I better leave you so I can get everything ready for the meal, because it's a lot of preparation to get ready for Passover. But I also know that when Jesus said, "This, hold on to this for my own burial," it really startled me. And I really had a strike of fear in my heart, because I don't know what's going to happen to Jesus. Apparently, he's told the disciples a couple times that he's going to die. I don't know when or how, and it scares me. He's the one who could raise my brother from death. But who but God could ever raise Jesus if he died?